Welcome back, everybody. We've got round 3. We've got one repeat, but we really wanted to see this Grixis vehicles deck.
Yeah, I was very excited about Grixis vehicles, and that's why we figured whoever he's playing against, we're going to run him up there.
And our good friend, the bumbling Adam Sarosy, is back on.
Oh, he's bumbling all right.
Bumbled his way through round 2 to a win, so here we are at 2-0. This Grixis vehicles deck has taken down 2 other challengers.
Yeah, poor guys.
Let's see what he does against this removal-heavy Desert Red deck. It's going to be an interesting one because Adam has to prioritize his removal here, as there's only one spell that can remove a Heart of Kirin.
Yeah.
But the other spells can just remove tons of other things.
Right.
So
he was slow rolling Blade enough last time to where it's probably gonna be fine. That'll probably be all right.
Agreed. We're probably gonna see a good match here. So I really couldn't tell you what the blue is for in this vehicles deck.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm excited to find out though.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's some pirates available in the blue-black variety. The 4-drop that gets +1/+1 for each artifact you have could theoretically be like a 6/6 4-drop between Heart of Kirin, Bowmat Courier, Scrap Heap Scrounger, as well as any treasures that might be incidentally created. I don't know that there'll be that many. Those cards aren't really constructed quality.
They certainly don't seem that way until somebody finds a way to get them in there, and at that point, then much better.
Right. Well, there's 2 win conditions in Standard that you could use. There's the Machinations one, where if you have 8 of the same artifact, you win the game like during your upkeep, and then there's
the Revel in Riches.
Revel in Riches, which is
it looks like we're already starting on
treasures.
Here. So we've got a Bowmat Courier, turn 1 from Adam.
Did he miss his trigger? I didn't see
there's a card
under there. Okay. All right, missed his trigger there. All right. No action so far from the Grixis deck, just the black, and I'll tell you what, if he has Gifted Aetherborn here is a big deal against this Desert Red deck.
Oh, yeah. Gifted Aetherborn is just a very good card, period, right now. Scrap Heap Scrounger is pretty solid, too. We don't see a lot of that one anymore, but against the more controlling decks, and this Desert Red deck is very much a controlling deck.
Absolutely.
It can present a very, very strong late game.
He didn't attack. I don't think Adam took the time to read the Scrap Heap Scrounger, which wouldn't surprise me.
It would not surprise me in the least.
Adam didn't like reading very much in the academic part of his life. We're not sure he can read.
Yeah, I will not speculate.
So this is a super strong vehicle. Aethersphere Harvester is really, really strong against this Desert Red deck. So 5 toughness is a big deal against Glorybringers.
Oh, yeah.
It's also kind of a tipping point for your removal spells. 3 is really the biggest deal, but you have Chandras, which can deal 4. So this Aethersphere Harvester can mean quite the headache. If I'm Adam, I'm now interested in just using all my removal on creatures. But what happens is Alan Gingry is going to play creatures here, and if Sarosy goes to remove them, he then gets to equip and still gets the attack in with the vehicle.
Yeah. Aethersphere Harvester is an interesting one for the main deck. I would expect that this would be very good if you expected a lot of Red Minap Red today, which I think is a fair assessment. It's one of the major archetypes.
Yeah, we're going to watch Adam here just kill this Scrap Heap Scrounger, and then Chandra's going to end up dying to the next creature that hits the board. What he needs to do here is plus Chandra, and what that would do is take Alan's focus off of the life total, and if he's going to race this Chandra that keeps plussing up, it buys Sarosy 3 attacks, I think. Let me see.
Wow, he draws a Pianalar, which is a great card to draw in this situation.
Yeah, Pianalar is a big card against this red deck. It produces 2 threats, and one of them gets to just crew this Harvester for free.
Yeah.
Not for free, but the token crews the Harvester. The Harvester only crews for 1. One of the more powerful functions of a vehicle is a low crew cost.
Definitely a top 3 vehicle there.
Yeah, wouldn't even see a wink of play if we still had our old looter scooter, the smuggler's copter.
This one would still see play. This one serves a different purpose than the looter scooter.
Alright, well. Corrected I stand.
So Chandra's down. Notably, Alan didn't even feel the need to spend the energy to get lifelink there.
I think he did, because the Harvester generates 2 energy.
Okay.
And he has an Aether Hub that generated 1 energy.
Okay, so should he be at 20 right now?
Perhaps. Here's a Sand Strangler. Taking down Pianalar. Alright, looks like Alan's at 18. Lots of lands for Sarosy. I think he's got 1 spell left. And I think there's 4 cards under this Bomat Courier, so wouldn't be surprised if he were to be cashing it in here.
Yeah, it's very easy to get too greedy with these Bomat Couriers.
Correct.
He has 3 cards in hand. One of them is a Sand Strangler.
Yeah, we're going to have a swing of 6 life here again.
Such a big life swing. Spending the last energy.
And here's the blue portion of the deck, the Scarab God.
Well then.
Let's show all the text this card has. Make sure the viewers at home are well versed in what the Scarab God does.
That's a surprising one out of a vehicles deck.
It's really, I mean, I think he's just interested in playing the most powerful stuff.
Yeah, and if you're looking for the most powerful stuff, stop your search. We found it for you.
Yes.
The Scarab God. At the beginning of your upkeep, your opponent loses X life and you scry X, where X is the number of zombies you control.
Right.
Not a zombie deck, so I don't know where we're going to get that from. Oh, wait. Pay 4. Exile target creature from a graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 4/4 black zombie. So you get to reuse all your creatures, all of your opponent's creatures. They become black zombies. They get to fuel your scrying, your life loss for your opponent.
Yeah, but I can just, you know, it's a creature, so it doesn't have indestructible like other gods. It just dies to a removal spell, right?
Yeah, I mean, it just goes straight to your graveyard, and then at the end of turn,
we weren't done with it.
Your hand. Oh, we're done with it.
We're done with it now.
I've seen enough.
No, all right, fair enough.
I've seen enough.
The Spotter Monkey figured we were done.
So
he took it from us.
Here we saw the
Sand Strangler come down.
Sand Strangler came down and took out the Thopter.
There's the Bomat Courier.
I would have preferred to attack with the Sand Strangler and the Bomat Courier.
So we're not going to resolve. Okay, there you go. All right. So Adam's going to pick up his hand there. Looks like we've got Hazaret is a card that gets to contend with the Scarab God.
Contend, yes. Defeat, no.
Right.
It's It's usually a good matchup. It depends on who has the life lead.
Here's another Bowman Courier. And a little passy pass. So let's see if... Okay, Alan's not going to activate in the upkeep. I don't think he has any blue mana to activate this with.
It's entirely looks to be the case.
Alright, here's another...
Dragon Skull Summit.
Yep.
So you definitely want a creature to crew this Aether Sphere Harvester.
Yep, here's the Gifted Aetherborn.
That's a good one.
4 more yields us
Hazard of
of his
Road.
own. Yeah.
Man, what a swing.
Gosh, this deck is brutal. He's just got so many high-powered cards
Yeah.
that it's nearly impossible to deal with them. If I'm Sarosy, I've got a lot of action in my hand. We've got a Glorybringer, we've got a Hazoret. I'm interested in doing a light amount of blocking. I would block with the Bomat Courier, and that's it.
Then you're
take
taking 8, go to 6. Oh man,
get to play the
bad.
Glorybringer, take down the Gifted Aetherborn. And then you get to deal him 4.
So we've got a couple calls for the deck list. We're not going to post any deck lists while the tournament's going on, but afterwards we'll definitely talk to Alan and see if he minds us posting it.
Yeah, we will. I have no doubt that Alan is going to have a high finish in this tournament.
Yeah, he's doing well.
So he's 2-0 already, and if his deck operates like this,
yeah, it looks like he's going to win this game.
It's going to be...
I like this block.
There you go. That's a good block.
So you don't actually permanently deal with this Scarab God, but you get it off the battlefield for a couple turns.
Yep. And bringing it back to his hand actually somewhat mitigates the Hazoret. So he's going to draw a card of 3 in hand.
Mm-hmm.
So if he can't play the Scarab God Plus or a land and then something else, then Hazoret's going to be pretty ineffective. So your Glorybringer is going to do some good work here by coming down, killing Gifted Aetherborn. Hazoret's best use at that point is going to be to crew the Aether Sphere Harvester and
You buy yourself a few turns.
buy yourself a couple turns here. Yep. And so Adam's emptying his hand out, so his Hazoret's going to be online when he...
Setting everybody. Oh, come on. You want a card on that Bomat Courier.
Yeah, it's certainly not blocking.
I mean, it is now.
Yeah, if he can get Hazoret to attack, it will block.
Yeah.
But I don't think that that's going to be something that Alan's going to be able to do. He's got 3 in hand. I suppose you could start pitching cards to Hazoret. That's always a possibility.
Well, the first card to get pitched should likely be a Scarab God. I don't know if he's too on board with that. Of note, he can't cast the Scarab God again. He doesn't have the blue mana. We went over this when we were talking about activating him.
Now he does.
Now we do.
So that couple energy makes the Aether Hub turn on. And let's see if he's going to see, because he now has the Scrap Heap Scrounger in the yard with another creature that he can bring back. He's got 2 activations to that possible, because he has PNLR and the Gifted Aetherborn in the graveyard. So, I don't think he's going to bring it back now, but upon Sarosy's attack is a very good time to bring it back, because then he can crew up the Summoning Sick Harvester, and that's going to result in a big old blocker.
Aether Sphere Harvester does such a good job at both combating the Raminap red deck and just dealing with all the Glorybringers in this format. That card is very strong right now.
Absolutely.
Additionally, this Gifted Aetherborn does a great job against the Raminap red decks, as well as any deck with like Hydras or Cubs that get big.
Sure.
It's just both of these cards are seeing very little play because they don't really have a home, but are very strong cards in this format. I'm very impressed that he brought them together here with this Grixis Vehicles deck.
Hazoret is the play for Sarosy. All right.
Should have attacked the last turn, Sarosy. And here we're going to see the activation. Wait a minute.
He didn't read it the first time. He's going to read it now because he missed an attack with the Bomat Courier on turn 3.
He's a lightning strike.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter here.
Yeah, like he can lightning strike that guy, but he still gets the crew. You're better off just let him crew, let him block.
He's probably going to block the
Strangler.
Sand Strangler.
Deal him 6. Puts him to 8. And then you got, you know, another Hazoret attack. You got this lightning strike at end of turn, untap. You got any number of draws.
He's dead on the swing back, though.
Is he? Yeah, he's going to gain some life, too, here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sarosy did not see that potential play. Hazoret alone was the correct attack there. Or just no attack whatsoever.
Hazoret alone is fine. So it is possible for, if Alan doesn't draw a land, it's very possible for him to get stuck with 2 cards again. I guess you could just pitch him at that point to the Hazoret and it doesn't matter. Yeah, this game's over.
Yeah, 6 to 8. 11 if he wants it.
And taking a little bit of time to come to this conclusion.
On his own. He's thinking about lightning striking and then cashing in the courier, but that doesn't do anything. There's nothing for a red.
Right, and you don't have an answer for this Hazoret, so you're just dead either way. I wonder if he sees that. I guess if he drew a Bomat Courier off of the Bomat Courier, he could cast it and block.
Yeah. So he's going to end up taking 3 total.
And now we need to cash in his Bomat Courier for a blocker. He didn't, so this should be game.
Yep. Yeah, so any creature here.
He doesn't even need a creature. He can just pay 3, pitch a card, pay 3, pitch a card, swing with Hazoret, and he's dead.
It looks like that's his plan.
Here's my other Scarab God.
Scarab God's hitting the bin pretty aggressively.
Puts Adam down to 4.
Yep, puts him at 4 life. Hazoret comes in for 5.
And that'll do it.
Scoops him up. Yeah, we just had a desert under there. So, this is where sideboarding gets interesting. This Grixis Vehicles deck is definitely off the beaten path. But
hold on real quick. They're asking where we'll post the decks. Probably post it on the website.
TopDeckProductions.com.
Anyway, go on.
But you're seeing all cards that you've interacted with before if you've played Standard.
Oh, yeah.
So, as you go into that sideboard, you have to decide, all right, what's my plan? Which of these cards is actually difficult for me to deal with? And which do I need to... So I think if Adam figures this out, he's definitely going to bring in the one of Braid because these Aether Sphere Harvesters are a big deal.
You have Magma Sprays in your sideboard?
Magma Sprays in the sideboard for the
Scroungers, the Scarab Gods.
Yeah. Oh, man. So oh, wow. I never even thought of that.
Yeah.
That's so good.
It's a big deal. You want to bring in I don't know if you have any other like actual graveyard hate,
Yeah.
if that's possible, but that seems like that'd be good here. What do you normally do against the mirror?
The mirror, you want to bring in the Chandra's defeats,
Mm-hmm.
which aren't as good here. Like,
Right.
I didn't see any Glory Bringers or Chandra's.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a Glory Bringer from Alan's deck. It has all the other good cards.
Right? He's just like, well, I'll play all the good cards in these colors. So, yeah, I would keep in the Sand Stranglers. The cards I think that are bad that I would take out would be Bomat Courier,
Mm-hmm.
and Karizev creates 6 spots for you.
Okay.
And so I think you can find 6 cards in that sideboard that are just better than those 6 creatures. There's only 2 Karizevs.
You have shocks in the main, don't you?
Yeah.
How important is that?
Not super. I guess if you're gonna, you could hedge on those too, because you have Hazards. Hazards could also be another very important card.
Right. So my big thing here is Karizev seems particularly good because Alan doesn't have a lot of creatures. His creatures are just very good.
Right.
So the menace on a card like that could be very strong here.
Yeah, I was just thinking about his 2-drops are Gifted Aetherborn and Scrapheap Scrounger.
Right.
And so Scrapheap Scrounger, every creature's good against it because it can't block.
Right.
But against Gifted Aetherborn, Karizev's pretty bad because you just block the monkey and take 1. You know, you end up gaining 1 on the exchange.
Right. So do you think Adam is going to beat Alan if these games go long?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I think Alan's deck, while he has all the best cards, we saw how choked on blue mana he was. I
Right.
don't know what his blue sources are, but I just don't think that the Scarab God is going to get back enough impactful creatures.
Okay.
Like, PNLR makes a token when it comes into play,
Right.
and you can get the Glory Bringers from Sarosy's deck.
The Hazards from Sarosy's deck.
Right.
The Sand Stranglers, although they're not really going to do much for you. They're just
Right.
4/4 bodies. But the
Yeah,
point is, like, every one of those also represents a life loss every turn, scry every turn.
Sure.
So, I mean, Scarab God is kind of the ultimate endgame.
Right.
I'm not sure if Alan's deck just kind of stumbled a little bit on blue mana, or if Aether Hub is his only source. I guess we'll find out more here. But I think Adam really wants to end this game quickly. And to that end, that's why I would keep in the Karizevs.
Right. Yeah, so I also wonder if he's going to take out Glory Bringers because they are really bad against Aethersphere Harvesters.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of cards that are bad against
Soulscar
his
Mage is good
Grixis deck.
against his deck, though. So I'm happy to see the Soulscar Mage here.
Yep. This is the Dread Wanderers. This is a 2/1, comes in tapped. This can block though.
Yeah, absolutely can.
So lucky enough we have the shock available to us. Yeah, firing it off now is probably fine because you get the prowess trigger.
Yeah, it's... Alright, he doesn't want the prowess trigger. If I've got another 2-drop, I'm fine with that, but I don't see one. Oh, he has another Soulscar Mage. Yeah, just run it out there. And then you can shock him next turn.
Yeah, you could even shock him, block with the Soulscar Mage.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Okay, here's a Drowned Catacomb as a blue source, so we've got that online.
Yeah, and with this Drowned Catacomb, I think Alan is
Here's a
very much
freebooter.
favorite here. Alright, so this is the one we're going to want to shock.
So Kitesail Freebooter comes in, you get to look at their hand and take a card out of it.
It's a duress, so
It's
it's
a
a non-creature.
Non-creature, non-land. But if he were to shock this in response, he would just he gets the card back automatically. I don't think the card even leaves his hand, to be fair.
It never leaves the hand, no. He does get to look still.
There's no reason to not shock this card here.
He's going to take the shock if you don't shock it.
Yeah, and then you're out of luck.
And then
I don't think Adam knows how this card works. I think he might think that if he shocks it, he still gets the card.
Adjusts his board a little bit.
Says okay.
All right, well, here it is.
So he just ends up taking the shock. And Adam is now
In very bad shape.
down a card.
Yeah, just take the shock. And obviously Adam has plenty of draws here that get out of this, but that's just like a small misplay that's going to be like a misuse of mana that could cause some major issues. Yeah, and draws another Soulscar Mage.
Yeah, so at this point I would send in my Soulscar Mages, trying to trade them off. Oh, he knows that. Okay, he knows your hand. Never mind. You can't bluff the Prowess trigger.
You can bluff nothing.
My bad. Yeah, just cast the Soulscar Mage and pass the turn.
You can bluff the Soulscar Mage that's in your hand. He doesn't know one of them. It looks like we're bluffing.
He's going to bluff the Prowess trigger.
Second main. Here's his buddy.
Those guys hang out. They go get beers after work.
Oh, do they?
Yes, and if Adam keeps playing this way, they're going to get beers sooner rather than later.
Oh, and here's the Aether Sphere. Man, oh man, this Kite Sail crewing the Aether Sphere is a brutal combination.
Yep. Here's a third land, and it's going to yield a...
Ferocidon's actually very good here.
Yes, Ferocidon's very good, so
Not going to let you attack, but...
It negates the life gain from the Harvester.
And also Menace is very good against vehicles decks because they have to tap a creature to crew.
Correct. Alright.
Alan not interested in paying the energy.
Well, he read all the text on Ferocidon, which is very rare for my opponents.
And here's the Gifted Aetherborn. Alright, so Ferocidon gets to attack for free.
Alright, here's a Ramonab Ruins, which is going to yield a Chandra.
Chandra at the cost of a life, which is fine. Did we get the Ferocidon triggers on Alan's 2 creatures?
Probably not. Adam's been missing those all day, so...
Okay.
That's,
Alright, well then, that's all there is to it.
pretty reasonable.
So now
Well,
we're
the
casting his Chandra.
Alright, so quick note to our Spotter Monkey. At this rules enforcement level, they're allowed to miss triggers.
Yeah, you can just miss the triggers.
They'll just never happen. So when you're playing at competitive rules enforcement for those out there, if you see something like that happen in a game, you should not come in from the outside to remind them of their triggers. If a card is resolved incorrectly, like a card says scry 2, put this card third from the top, and they put the card second from the top, then you should get a judge to correct the way the card was resolved. But never come in on a missed trigger. Alright, so big attack here.
So you've got a Chandra. I would imagine is going to take down this Gifted Aetherborn. And then we get to get in for 7. Oh, what is this attack? This is not an attack.
Oh, we just found out that that card has Menace.
So we're going to get to deal 5.
Oh, and Adam's going to learn that card has a keyword.
Jeez. Did we just play Chandra and not do anything with it?
Not yet. I don't think he's past the turn. He's got a second main phase. He wanted to see what the blocks were all about.
And now we're just going to plus it and kill the Gifted Aetherborn, I guess? Or minus and kill the Gifted Aetherborn?
You can plus it for 2 damage.
Yeah, it seems more reasonable at this point. Jeez.
This now he's what he's done is he's created a situation where Alan has to make quite a serious attack into the Chandra, which isn't the end of the world, but it's certainly not what Alan wants to do. He wants to attack the life totals.
Yeah, well, I mean, Adam's at 17, so crewing up. Oh, a Hazoret.
A Hazoret with 2 cards in hand. Passes the turn. If Alan's going to continue to pass the turn, Sarosy is in good shape.
What is even happening? All right, so Sarosy with a Ferocidon in hand.
All right.
I can't see the other. Magma Spray. Magma Spray is going to be good. Potentially on this Dread Wanderer.
So I would plus the Chandra for the card.
Yeah. You don't have any great attacks here.
Play the Ferocidon and just pass. You got this Magma Spray backup, which is going to generate a Prowess trigger, so you can do some awesome blocking. And the Soul Scar Mage lets the Magma Spray put negative counters on the
Hazoret,
which makes a difference. You put Alan to 6, and you've got Ramonap Ruins in place, so plussing for the card again puts him to 4, and then you're 2 Ramonap Ruins activations away.
Additionally, with Soul Scar Mage, putting these negative counters on an Aether Sphere Harvester could also be very good if you still have Glory Bringers in the deck.
Sure, absolutely.
Looks like we're interested in Magma Spraying right now.
I guess we're going to Magma Spray the Freebooter.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that. All right, Wanderer down.
So Wanderer gets exiled. Going to take 1 to 16 and cast the Ferocidon.
He's going to take 1 of his own.
And
here we
take
go.
1 on his own Ferocidon trigger. So Adam took 2 that turn to 15. Yeah, so I wonder what Alan's plan here is. I mean, you have to be attacking somewhere.
You really won't need to get this Chandra off the board.
He really needed to attack last turn. He needed to figure out.
Yeah.
It was a clogged board, and Sarosy's attack back was very good. But you really should take a minute to run through the permutations of what your various attacks could be.
I think I see a Glory Bringer in Alan's hand. But of note, every time a creature enters the battlefield here, it's going to deal him 2.
Right. Alright, so he's going to take 2 here from the Scavenger. Oh, here's a Braid. This is the most important card that Sarosy has in his deck after with this Aether Sphere Harvester in play.
But with the way Alan's playing, I would just plus Chandra for the card.
Yep, get to 7. And so this represents a Chandra ultimate next turn.
Oh yeah, let's just cast this.
Yeah. This is Ferocidon. I'm going to take 2. And if Alan plays another creature... Well, I guess this puts Alan to 2.
Yeah, so it takes him off of playing another creature.
No, this is great. It takes Alan to 2. You abrade the Freebooter and shock Alan.
There you go.
Well, I just figured out how to win the game. Let's see if Sarosy does it.
I don't know. I don't think that's happening.
You don't think Sarosy's going to choose to win the game?
I don't even think he knows what happens when he kills the Freebooter.
No, we're passing the turn with Chandra on 7 and Alan at 2. All right, so we're going to play a game 3. Holy smokes.
Yeah, it was an interesting match there.
Yeah, both players made some very interesting lines.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love this Grixis Vehicles deck. I don't think any of these cards are bad, and he's leveraging really the metagame. It creates a really interesting space for Aethersphere Harvester.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so he's really using that as kind of this cornerstone to create a deck that attacks from a very unique angle. It's got a lot of unique cards, and it creates situations that are really hard to deal with.
Yeah, it definitely has a lot of interesting cards in there. There was one turn there where he didn't attack the Chandra when I think he should have.
Yes, I concur.
That made all the difference, I believe. But these Ferocidons do a great job of shutting down Alan's deck. He definitely needs to find an answer for that if he's going to win this match.
Yeah, the cards Sarosy needs to draw here are Abrade and Ferocidon. Because Aethersphere Harvester is just the worst for him.
Yeah, he needs to draw those 2 cards and read all the other cards. And
yes.
He'll be good.
Yes, if he needs to get LeVar Burton on his side and go down a Reading Rainbow. Take a look. It's in a book. Reading Rainbow.
But he made some discoveries this past game.
Absolutely.
And, he knows now that the Gifted Aetherborn has Death Touch, which is relevant.
All right, so we're off to the races. So here's a Bomat Courier from Alan. You could literally name any standard legal card, and I would believe that it's in Alan's deck.
Alan with a refurbish on his Bomat Courier.
It's probably refurbish is probably fine, as it brings back Aethersphere Harvester. Like if you're
here's the booter. So I got into this RPTQ playing Esper Godfair's Gift.
Yes.
And I know the blue-white version is a little more popular right now because it's finished at the Pro Tour.
Right.
But man, these freebooters do so much work.
For sure.
They're very good.
Yeah, he needs to take the Abrade. Here's the best card.
Yeah, you get the Abrade.
Especially if Sarosy thinks that Abrade is gone forever.
Which he might. You just might.
I don't know what Sarosy believes to be the truth.
Oh no!
Oh, he knows. He knows. Okay, so
so we're shocking both of your creatures.
And here's
so now of note for Alan, if there was only one shock in hand, I would have definitely taken the shock. So if he wants the shock back, he has to Abrade the freebooter.
Yeah.
But in this case, yeah, you definitely just take the Abrade, force the issue with the shock. No 3-drop hurts though.
Oh, here's a Chandra in Sarosy's hand.
Not Chandra for turn though. Just swing for 1.
Push.
Yeah, quick little fatal push.
That's fine. If that's where you're gonna spend your fatal pushes against me, I'm more than happy.
Yeah, it's not a good sign for Alan's hand if he's spending fatal pushes here. But he's gonna get an energy. I saw Glorybringer in hand. If he gets to that part of the game, then this is gonna be pretty good for him. Here's a Hazoret.
Let's see if Sarosy's going to come up with Chandra being the best play. How many cards does Alan have in hand? 3?
Can't really tell. Either 2 or 3. Looks like 3. 2. Dose
2
cards.
Yeah, so you have to imagine he's going to be able to empty out that hand enough for this Hazoret to attack.
Especially if he draws a land and gets the Glorybringer as well.
Yeah, then you're really out of reach because it's going to take down your Chandra very easily.
Looks like Ferocidon's the play.
Yep, here's a Ferocidon.
I'm not too upset about that, but looks like Alan did not get the land.
Yep, here's a trigger from the Ferocidon.
Oh, but we're going to be able to braid and get in for 5 with his Hazret.
All right, so we got Glorybringer.
Oh, a Sand Strangler is pretty good draw here.
Yeah, Sand Strangler taking down the... And then you get
Scrap
to...
Heap Scrounger.
And then you get to race.
Yeah, it's not much of a race when he's got an active Hazret, but that's your plan.
So, okay, so you Sand Strangler the Scrap Heap Scrounger down.
Mm-hmm.
You take one more hit from the Hazret. You attack back with your Sand Strangler. You play Chandra to 2 him. And then if Alan attacks you, you know...
Go down to 4.
Go down to 4.
Pray doesn't draw the land for the Glorybringer.
Right, Prey doesn't draw the land for the Glorybringer that you don't know that's there.
Look, it's not good for Adam right now. But...
Agreed. That card costs 1 more.
Card costs 4.
He owes 1 more on that.
Alright, so did he draw the land for the Glorybringer? That is the question.
Does not look like it.
I don't know what the other card is, though.
That's the other thing is that Alan can't... He can't, you know...
Oh, it's another Hazret.
Another Hazret.
To you. Goes to 12. Swings in for 5. Down to 7. There's no universe in which chump blocking with your 4-drop is going to win you this game, Adam.
Correct.
You just got to let this go.
What he needs to do is he needs to draw a Soulscar Mage.
Soulscar Mage would be nice. The draw there is a Lightning Strike.
Yeah, so Chandra. Plussing it for the mana.
You want to plus for the mana and Lightning Strike him?
Yes.
Okay. I can get behind that.
Because you want to be able to cast your Glorybringer next turn if he doesn't attack your Chandra.
Well, even if he does.
Yeah, no matter what.
He would have to attack and activate.
Yeah, plus for the mana, Lightning Strike him.
I can't tell what the 3rd card in hand is. It's Glorybringer. Is that an Abrade?
Yeah, it's an Abrade.
Okay.
We know about it. It was under the freebooter.
Ah, yes.
So he has to figure this
And it's not a good line. That's
no, it's
just
not
like
a good line.
if Alan draws like a Scarab God or something that he can't cast, then it's a good line. It's the only line.
Right.
If Alan draws a land,
you're out of luck.
Adam's dead.
I think Adam's going to end up looking at a card here. Nope. Oh, he sees. He's going to take my line.
There it is.
Lightning strikes him to 14.
So I think you plus for the card if you think you're going to get 2 more untap steps. And I think you rightfully recognize that that is not in the realm of possibility.
Right. But this
There's a
Chandra,
land.
Yeah, this Chandra is going to...
Let's bring some glory.
All right.
And that'll do it.
Is there here? What? Let's confirm that he's attacking you. Oh.
There it is.
All right. Well, that was a much more interesting match than the previous 2. The other 2 we snapped off pretty quick. This one had some lines to it.
Yeah, there were some lines. There was some depth. There was some questionable plays, but 2 very interesting decks. Desert Red, a little more established. Grixis Vehicle's a bit of a brew, but a nice brew.
Yeah, and it's sitting at 3-0, so you might see this one rolling into the top 8.
Yeah, hopefully
we got 6 rounds to play today.
We'll get another round of this Grixis Vehicles deck going. But we'll be back here for the 4th of 6 rounds in just a moment.